Tennessee's most infamous ghost story has been sending chills down people's spines for generations, and its rich history is what captivates so many. From spooky tales of haunted mansions to unexplained occurrences in the dead of night, this ghost story has become a staple of Tennessee's paranormal folklore. And today, I'm excited to take a closer look at the facts and the fiction behind this legendary tale. Ghost stories can be a lot of fun, but let's be real, it's hard to separate fact from fiction. We've all heard those urban legends that are passed down from generation to generation, only to find out they're completely fabricated. So how do we know what's real and what's just a clever fabrication? That's the challenge I'm facing today as I delve into Tennessee's most infamous ghost story. As I dig deeper, I'll be asking myself some tough questions. Is this story based on real events, or is it just a product of someone's vivid imagination? Skepticism is essential when it comes to ghost stories, and I'm no exception. I want to believe in the paranormal, but I need concrete evidence to back it up. So, as I explore this story, I'll be looking for credible sources, eyewitness accounts, and any other evidence that can help me get to the bottom of things. It's not going to be easy, but I'm up for the challenge. One thing's for sure, ghost stories have a way of tapping into our deep-seated fears, and that's what makes them so compelling. They allow us to confront the unknown and the unexplained in a controlled environment. But as I said, it's hard to know what's real and what's not. So let's keep an open mind and see where the evidence takes us. The history of this ghost story dates back to the early 19th century, and it's centered around a family that lived in a sprawling mansion in rural Tennessee. According to local legend, the family was torn apart by tragedy, and their spirits have been haunting the mansion ever since. But, as I started digging deeper, I discovered that there's more to the story than just a simple haunting. There are reports of strange noises, unexplained movements, and even sightings of ghostly apparitions. As I spoke to local residents and historians, I realized that this story has been passed down through generations, with each telling adding its own twists and turns. It's like a game of paranormal telephone, where the original message gets distorted and exaggerated over time. So, I had to go back to the original sources, old newspapers, diaries, and letters, to get a sense of what really happened. One thing that stood out was the number of people who claimed to have seen the ghost of a young girl wandering the halls of the mansion. Some said she was a friendly spirit, while others claimed she was malevolent. But what struck me was the consistency of the descriptions. They all matched, even accounts from people who had never met before. As I continued to dig, I stumbled upon a piece of evidence that blew my mind. A newspaper article from the 1800s detailing a tragedy that occurred at the mansion. It was a dramatic event that sent shockwaves through the community, and it was eerily similar to the legend that's been passed down. This was the first concrete piece of evidence I had found, and it raised more questions than answers. The more I delved into the history, the more I realized that this story wasn't just about ghosts and ghouls. It was about real people, with real struggles and tragedies. And that's what makes this story so compelling. It's not just a simple ghost story, but a tale of love, loss, and redemption. So what's the verdict? Does Tennessee's most infamous ghost story hold any truth? Well, I think it's safe to say that there's more to this story than just fiction. While we may never know the full truth, the evidence suggests that there's some basis in reality. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you've got your own thoughts on this ghost story, please share them in the comments below. And if you're interested in more paranormal content, be sure to check out my channel for more videos on the subject.